Hello, and welcome to Let's Talk Safety. Our goal is to increase public awareness to reduce the dangers faced by citizens in their daily lives, whether around the corner or around the world.
Okay. And today we are here to talk about safety on the streets of America. And we had another woman murdered by a career criminal. Her name, Brianna Kupfer. She was a UCLA grad student. She was working all by herself in a high-end furniture store. And she had texted a friend saying that she had a bad vibe when somebody walked in her store. Ingrid, tell me, this is absolutely horrific. What is happening?
The key here is it doesn't matter where you are in America. It doesn't matter if you're in a furniture store, in a high-end store. It doesn't matter. There are people that are criminals, career criminals, mentally disabled people, and you always must be on alert. Now, she was on alert, okay? So she said she had a bad vibe, but now she needs to ensure she's taking other steps and measures to keep herself safe. She was alone in the store, right, Carrie?
Yes, she was alone. And you know what? The individual responsible for this vicious, senseless, brutal crime, after he stabbed her to death, he walked out and acted as if nothing happened and walked into another store to buy something at a store. And thank God it was caught on video and it was shared throughout the community and throughout the world. And people identified him, and thank God somebody was able to call 911. Police were able to come in and they were able to arrest him. And
now, yeah, let's talk a little bit about, what she could have done to better prepare herself or to let someone know. This is where you have to think quickly. You have to be swift. You have to think about something. If she saw a man and she felt uncomfortable, she could have picked up her phone and she could act like she was making a phone call and directing someone to come to the store. Like, hey, you're just a block away. Make sure you come down. This is where you really need to be thinking ahead of, the perpetrator here, if he's going to do something.
Yes, absolutely. You know what we want? We want our citizens, our loved ones, the people we care about to have strategies, tools, and techniques to get out of situations like this. So we have to be proactive, prepared, and protected. When I think about being proactive, I always say, let's go through what if scenarios. So, as we strategize employee safety, we go through this. We say, what are some things that could happen? What if somebody walked in and you had a bad vibe? What would you do? What are your reactions? How will you get to safety? If you had a bad feeling, what would you do? It's time to create a plan. It's always better to create your plan before something happens. Always.
The other thing too is this career criminal, maybe he knew she was in the store alone. We don't know. And this is where she could have made up a name and said, hey, Bob, I'm coming back in the back room. I just got a new, customer just came in. Just be innovative, think quickly. And that's what I want to stress to the, women out there or anyone that is working alone. Even realtors go and show homes all by themselves.
Yeah.
We have to prepare ourselves to save our lives.
Read The Gift of Fear. How many times have we talked about The Gift of Fear, Ingrid? She had that bad vibe. When you have a bad vibe, you have to understand it is a gift for you. You need to take it and you need to run with it. And I always talk about the ICE formula: identify, calculate, and escape. The ICE formula. That is so important to have in your pocket so that you can react and do something. You need to make sure that you can get to safety. But first you need to be able to identify the situation. Then you need to calculate your plan, and then you need to escape. And we also talk about being protected, right? Have a panic button ready. I always talk with employees that they should have some mean to get in touch with somebody really fast. Now, I'm so sad that when Brianna sent her message saying that she had this bad vibe, the person who she sent it to didn't read it right away. So that was just the sad situation that happened. But that's why it's important to have a plan where you want to have on speed dial the non-emergency line, because maybe you might not feel that this situation is up to a 911 call. Okay, so then what do? You have a bad feeling, call the non-emergency line. Your conversation will be, taken serious. You'll be able to kind of strategize something. And of course, remember that other plan that people use? They call 911 and say that they're ordering a pizza when they can't talk in front of somebody and they're in danger. Oftentimes the person on 911 will say, this is 911, we're not a pizza place. And the person says, yeah, I know, I'd like a large pepperoni. And then she says, typically the responder will say, are you in front of somebody that you can't speak? Are you in danger? And then you can kind of say, yes, that would be great, a medium, right? And so you can have these cryptid conversations with 911 to help if you need, but it's all about understanding these strategies, tools, and techniques and what to do if you're in this situation. And you won't be able to come up with a great plan if you haven't thought about it before, or you're going to waste precious time. We always say it's seconds that can save your life.
And we always say too that we must practice and we must rehearse, because whoever that person is going to get nervous, and you have to practice when you're nervous and act like you're ordering that pizza. And when they respond back, you'll have to say, yes, I want a lot of pepperoni. You just have to go with it. And this is being flexible, thinking ahead.
Absolutely. And they just had, they just went ahead and charged this person with murder, and he was on a $2 million bail. But even that, I think to myself, thank God, before they were doing no bail, everybody could get out, right? In California, you have such a messed up situation. And I will share let's share one quick picture here. And this is what we're talking about. We're talking about femicide. We're talking about, allowing criminals to continue to re-victimize citizens. And Brianna did not deserve this. She deserved to be safe and secure while she was working and doing what she wanted to do in this world. And to have some criminal come in and take her life away is just outrageous. And he had been arrested in your home state before. And that was a really sad situation, that he wasn't in jail. He wasn't off the streets. He was out on the streets, able to re-victimize more people. And who can we go to? We're supposed to be able to count on our DAs out there. But what do you think of Gaston and Braggs in New York? This is terrible.
And, this is happening to these women. And for all women out there, we need to come together as women and say, enough is enough. We've got to fight for women. We've got to fight for our women rights. There's so many things happening right now. And these DAs are being soft on crime, like you said. And we have to be a voice. We have to get out there. I just want everyone to know, when we lose people every day, we have to value life. We can't just let things go like that for terrible decisions that these DAs are making. We can no longer be soft on crime. Yeah. We have to ensure that the punishment meets the crime.
And now let's just talk about Michelle Go. This just happened recently, where an amazing woman had a great career, was just shoved onto the tracks in New York and killed. And it's really sad to watch the video of this happening, but he just waited until the train was almost pulling in to push her on the tracks.
It doesn't make any sense, these crimes. They're senseless. It's very sad. Now, her situational awareness in reference to the train. Apparently, there's a lot of homeless people who hang out in the subways in New York City.
Yes, and she worked for Deloitte. And didn't Deloitte have some type of funding that they gave to a group that was petitioning for homeless people to be able to stay in the
subways? Yes, Deloitte gave money to a nonprofit to allow them to sleep in the subways, knowing their situation, mental health, this, that. And now look at, you have someone murdered and senselessly as well.
Yeah.
It is out of control across the country. We've got to get up and voice our opinions and make sure that we're supporting our law enforcement officers.
Absolutely. These are just some horrific crimes that are happening. But once again, we just want to tell everybody to stay safe, be well, make sure that you're supporting the police. And really, when it comes down to voting, make sure you're voting for people who are going to stand up for you, not DAs that are going to stand up for criminals. I feel like the DA Gasson and the DA Braggs, they're more interested and compassionate with criminals than they are for the citizens. So what do you say to that, Ingrid? How can we change that?
Well, we got to vote these people out. We've got to complain. We've got to realize that we are the people, and the legislators, they work for us, and more people need to get involved and voice their opinions and make calls right to their congressmen, right to their legislators, and make sure that these problems are resolved.
Absolutely. Well, that is it for today. But what I can say is stay safe, be well, and please share these tips about strategies, tools, and techniques, making sure that you're thinking about backup plans, that you're strategizing what to do, what ifs, and making sure that your loved ones stay safe and secure. And that's it for today. Thanks for joining us.